everybody, Creative Katie, Karen Birchall, and today we're talking about stamp organization, clear stamp organization specifically. What do you use? What system do you use? For the longest time, from almost the beginning of when I started art journaling and mixed media, I kept my stamps in this binder. My little mini hot off the press stamps were in baseball card pocket dividers. That was just the perfect size for that. And the other ones were in these plastic envelopes that I got at the dollar store. I put one stamp on one side of the white sheet of paper and one or two sets on the other, and I was able to organize them by theme. So all the heart stamps were on one, or flower stamps were next to each other, border stamps, Christmas stamps, what have you. But I found with all the stamps that I had that this was getting pretty bulky and awkward. This is like, 3-4 inch binder, and yeah, it's almost a 3.5 inch binder, and it was getting pretty awkward, and I really didn't want to start putting things in different binders and pull this and pull that. That just didn't appeal to me. So on one of the Facebook groups, and I don't even remember which one, in one of the discussions, one day somebody was talking about stamp storage, and they said that they use CD cases. Now, that struck a chord with me because I have tons of CD cases. The CDs are being stored somewhere else. We've ripped the information and put it onto our devices so that we have it. We simply don't listen to music with the CD player anymore. So these, although they managed to make a move with me, I just had tons of them. So what you have to do is you open up and you take this out. Don't throw this away. I'm going to talk about these little booklets because I think I have an idea. And then there's this plastic in here. Now this plastic has to be taken out. So I'm going to zoom in, and it might be really hard to see this. On this side, right here and down here, there's kind of a dip. And I'm just taking a solid knife, something with a point, probably use a pair of scissors, and lay this flat and just pop it up. And then go here and pop up that one. Easier to do when it's on a flat surface, and just pull this out. This can go into recycling because I can't think of any use for it yet. This piece of paper can come out, it can go into recycling, and there you have your empty case. Then all you have to do is take your sentiments or what have you and stick them on to, you can stick them on to either side. Now you'll note there is a gap here, and that goes down to the thing. So I'm kind of trying to avoid putting anything there, especially any smaller stamps, because I don't think they're going to get lost or fall out, but I want to take that extra precaution. So I did that, and then I went and I labeled them accordingly. I put what they are: sentiment stamps and Fiskars, and this is one of two. There were two two cases that I filled with that stamp set. It was a fairly large, I think there were 18 stamps. So when I looked at this, you can kind of see it, and I thought, okay, I'm going to have to stamp out, because one thing that when you buy the stamps, you get all these, you get the Mylar with the sentiment stamped on it that you stick them back on. So you kind of lose this. Now I've kept these, and I'm thinking about binding them together with my disc system binding, just to have, and I can flip through them, and I can have that on my desk, and if I'm looking for a particular stamp, I can flip through that instead of going to the CD cases. I don't know. If you have another idea for those, let me know. Leave a comment down below. But this doesn't really fit. As you can see, you know, none of the pages, they didn't quite fit the CD case or where I was putting the stamp. So that wasn't going to work using that. And I really didn't want necessarily to have to stamp out all the stamps onto a card that I would keep in here, although that was my plan. What I decided to do instead, and I'm going to see how this works for the short haul, is just cut a piece of paper. I measured it, and it's 5.5 by 4 11/16, and I just cut it. Now this one's just regular copy paper weight, because I ran out of manila tag weight, and I wanted a little bit more weight. The manila tag fit quite well. We were still able to close the case. So then when you close this, you can see, or I hope you can see, the sentiments very clearly. Right now these don't have any ink on them. They're just a brand new set. So they fit in there. Now to label them, all I did was took an Avery label. I just have a whole bunch of Avery labels, and this is the size. These are the ones that I used, and I just cut that into 3. My kind of labeling machine, it's a little wider than the edge, and I just wrote on there a name, and sometimes I put on where I got the set, what the brand was, if that was important to me. And in some cases it is, because that's something I know people that are watching my videos, they often want to know where I got the stamp. Now, as for where these are kept, my husband had a couple CD racks. Now, for the short term, I'm going to try and use this. This fits perfectly on my rolly cart in my room, and they seem fairly stable. They're easy to access and to read the description. And I've kind of arranged them. I put all my butterfly stamps together, all my flower stamps together, all my sentiment stamps, you know, are together. I have another rack that isn't quite full. It's about 2/3 full. Same thing, I have all my alphabet stamps in them, and I really like that because of all those little pieces. I think that's going to give it some protection, extra protection against falling off the plastic sheet. I find that they tend to fall off faster than in any of the others. So I'm going to give this a try and see how it works over the long haul. It's going to sit on the shelf. It's within hand's reach of my more common work area. What I do like though is I can take out a selection of CDs, or the CD cases and stamps. Now these are all stamps that I think are going to, I'm going to keep going back to, and I'm using them in my planner. I think they will have a lot of use within my planner set. So I'm going to just take them out of that case, and they're going into my kind of planner case. I also have one of these carrying cases from Recollections that I go on create dates. So as you can see, they fit nicely in here. I can take, you know, a good half a dozen or so of my stamps all in my carrying case. So thank you for watching. Here is a shot of the CD storage case with my stamps in the CD cases, and it sits, as I said, quite nicely on my rolly cart, which is within arm's reach of my crafting area. And it was quite interesting to me that I could actually put, you can see the Tim Holtz card there with some of my red rubber stamps. They actually fit in the slots as well and can be stored there. There was also room between the two racks for all my inks and my acrylic blocks. So bonus, I guess. So here is a peek of an opened CD case, and I've been able to put the stamps on both sides. And when you put a piece of paper in between, it makes it easy to see what the stamps are. These are some older stamps that have some ink on them, and you can easily make out what they are. And here are some brand new ones that have never seen ink, and again, you can make out the sentiment and be able to choose what you want. Thanks for watching. See you next time.